Hello, welcome back. Today's Vlogmas video is going to be a tier ranking video, and I have never done this before, so this will be my first attempt, so bear with me. But today we are going to tier rank all of my 5-star reads that I have on Goodreads. So this isn't like every 5-star book that I've ever read, but I started using Goodreads I think around the end of 2018. So everything that I have on Goodreads as a 5-star, if Goodreads is correct, and if I remember to actually go back and rate everything, which I don't always do, but I went back and double checked and I think this should be pretty close. Okay, so I'm going to screen record. All right, so I have 4 tiers. I have perfection, which that is like, you know, no matter how long ago I read it, no matter how many other books I've read since then, it is still like top tier perfection. Nothing can top that. The next tier I have is still love. Maybe it's not perfection, or maybe it's been so long that I just don't remember much about it, but I still know and love it. And then I have needs a reread. And this is one that maybe it's been so long that I need to reread it, or maybe I've read more books similar since then that lead me to think that maybe it isn't like the best in its genre or trope or whatever it is. So one that I eventually would like to reread to see if it's still a 5-star. And then the last category that I have is didn't stand the test of time. So these are ones that I had ranked 5 stars, but maybe since then I just don't feel the same about them anymore. Like The Giver by Lois Lowry is just top tier. Nothing can top it. Next we have 19 Minutes by Jodi Picoult. This is a still love. I have reread it multiple times. It is such a good book. It's about a school shooting and Jodi Picoult can just do no wrong. Water for Elephants by Sarah Gruen is also a still love. It's also one that I've reread. The movie's good, the book's good, but I don't know that it's like that perfection tier, you know? Escape, that one is in perfection. I freaking love Escape. This is the first polygamous cult memoir that I read and I still think it's the best. Next we have Columbine by Dave Cullen, and this is still love. I've also reread this one. It is a true crime, like pretty much overview of the Columbine high school shooting, and it is so well done and respectful, and it just gives such a good picture without adding any sort of like fame or sides or anything. It's just a really well done book. Now, here's one, Dark Places by Gillian Flynn. This is one that I'm gonna put in didn't stand the test of time. I loved it when I read it, but since then I just have never really recommended it to anyone. I've never felt the need to reread it, and I've read other serial killer books since then that I feel like are just as good, if not better. So this one is gonna be in didn't stand the test of time. 11/22/63, I'm gonna put in still love. Such a good, probably my favorite. Is it my favorite? Well, yeah, I guess if it's the only one here. My favorite's, this is my favorite Stephen King that I have read. All right, now we have Divergent by Veronica Roth. This one I'm gonna put in needs a reread. I read this when it first came out. I own all the books. I really enjoyed them as they were coming out, but it's probably one that I would need to reread to see if it's still a favorite. Defending Jacob, William Landay. That is gonna go in still love. That's a good one. The Girl on the Train, this is one that I feel like needs a reread. This is one of the first thrillers that I read, and at the time I loved it. I have reread it, I think a long time ago, but it's been probably like 7 years since my last reread. So I remember just being shocked by some of the things that happened in the book, but I feel like I need to give it a reread to see if it's truly an all-time favorite. The Sound of Gravel by Ruth Werner. Also in still love, also a really good polygamous cult memoir. The Body Keeps the Score. That one is going in perfection. It's probably the best nonfiction book I've ever read. A Mother's Reckoning by Sue Klebold. Still love. This was a reread. I read this a long time ago, and it is and this one is the view of the Columbine high school shooting from the viewpoint of the mother, one of the mothers of the shooters. So it's so good, and it's a really great book about grief and about forgiveness, and yeah, highly recommend that one. All right, J.T. Ellison, No One Knows. I'm also gonna put this one in didn't stand the test of time. I remember loving it when I read it and being just like so excited to talk to people about it. But then everybody that I've talked to and recommended to that's read it came back to me and was like, Lena, like, what is wrong with you? And when I go back and like try to remember what it is that I liked about it, I can't remember. All the Ugly and Wonderful Things. This one, I hate to do this. I'm gonna put this in Didn't Stand the Test of Time. I really enjoyed this book, but I don't ever find myself thinking about it. And I feel like there are historical fiction books that are better. I hate that I say that. I hate this, but that's just, if I'm being honest with myself, that's where I'm at with that one. All right, Behind Closed Doors, B.A. Paris, Perfection, you already know. Good is Gone. This one needs a reread. This is the first Book of the Month book that I received back in 2016, and I loved it. I was blown away. It's about kidnapping, and I just think that I need to reread it and see if it's one that can stand the test of time, or if I've read other kidnapping books that were better. Like there's one in here somewhere. Oh yeah, one, Appetite for Innocence. This is one that is a still love that is very similar to Good is Gone, and I feel like if you like one, you might like the other. Appetite for Innocence is probably a little bit gruesome, but they're pretty similar. Kill Creek. This is what I'm putting in Didn't Stand the Test of Time. I remember loving it when I read it, and I have recommended it to a few people, but again, when I think about it, like, I can't remember why I liked it. I can't remember a whole lot of details other than like the basic synopsis, and there's one part in it that always just kind of bugged me. So that one's going there. Educated by Tara Westover. Ooh. Perfection or Still Love? Oh, I don't know. This is a hard one. This one can go in Still Love. Yeah. The Broken Girls by Simone St. James. I might put this in Perfection. It's my favorite Simone St. James book. No, I don't think it's Perfection. I think it's a Still Love. Honestly, none of this really matters. Like, it's all just my perception of it. But it is kind of funny that some of these I'm like agonizing over. All right, No Exit. Perfection. I freaking love that book, and I enjoyed the movie too. Saving Noah. Perfection. You already know. Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. I'm also going to put that one in Perfection. It's my favorite Riley Sager book. The Dream Daughter. Also Perfection. No surprise there. Miracle Creek by Angie Kim. That is a still love. The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez. That's a still love. Keeping Lucy by T. Greenwood. Perfection. Lock Every Door. I'm going to put this one in still love. The ending is still something that I never would have seen coming. Worst Best Man. I'm going to put this in Needs a Reread. I loved it when I read it. It's based in DC. The steamy scenes were really good, but I do want to reread that at some point. And I feel like I can reread that and still get a similar experience because it's a romance, right? Like, it's not like there's a whole lot of surprises anyway. Big Lies in a Small Town. Still love. It's also a really great Diane Chamberlain book. The Night Swim. I feel like this one didn't stand the test of time, and I hate that I'm saying that, but I just never find myself recommending it. I never find myself thinking about it. Yeah, that one hurts. Beach Read. Still love. It's my favorite Emily Henry book. The Perfect Daughter. Still love. But I also want to reread it, but it doesn't need a reread. Like, I know I like it, but I'm going to go in Still Love. What Happened to You? We're going to put that in Still Love. Such a great book about trauma. People We Meet on Vacation. I'm going to go Didn't Stand the Test of Time. I hate that, but oh well. The Collective needs a reread. I loved it, but I do want to reread it. And I feel like it would help me to reread it. The Arrangement also didn't stand the test of time. This one was the first romantic suspense that I read and the first Kirsten Moglin book that I read, but when I look back on it, some of it was a little bit, I should have seen some of the things coming. There was one thing that was a really good twist that I didn't see coming, but overall, I just don't know that it is a favorite when I truly think about what my favorite books are. Falling, Still Love. That one is so good. Only the Beautiful. This one might go to Perfection. It might. It might. Spoiler for my end of the year wrap up. 56 Days, still love, still a really good thriller. The Measure, perfection, you already know. Fly Girl by Anne Hood, still love that one. It was a phenomenal memoir. Jeanette McCurdy, still love, that was so good. We Spread by Ian Reid, perfection. Ooh, look, we're into another line for perfection. The Housemaid. This one I might put in didn't stand the test of time. I loved it when I read it, and it got me out of a pretty long reading slump as far as thrillers go. But again, popcorn thrillers, they just don't seem to stick with me. I do plan on reading the second one though, The Housemaid's Secret. Counting the Cost, still love. It's a really good memoir as well. Women in Cabin 10. This one needs a reread. It's been a long time. It's been a long time, since like 2016 or 2017. And I remember enjoying it, but I know a lot of people say they didn't like this. Silent Patient, perfection. Home Before Dark, I still love. And let me see. Oh, that one's easy. We all know. Wow, is that it? Did we get through all of them? That's awesome. All right, so here is my ranking, and I'm pretty happy with all of these. Is there any that I want to move anywhere else? I don't think so. I feel pretty good about this. I feel pretty happy. Yeah. I can already tell that there's like probably like 1 or 2 books that aren't in this list that I didn't get off of Goodreads. So I have to look back at Goodreads and make sure that I actually rated them on Goodreads. But that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments, are you enjoying Vlogmas? Let me know. Let me know what your favorite Vlogmas video has been so far. And let me know if you've read any of these books and if any of them were also 5 stars for you.